What's good, YouTube? I'm Tiffany. Welcome to RVing with Scissors, your crafty corner of the RVing world. Today we're going to look at pocket pages, a quick way to get photos into your camping journal. But just because it's quick doesn't mean it can't be fun. We're going to add a hidden photo and some journaling. So come on, take a look. All right, I'm going to put y'all on fast forward and we'll jump to the section of my album where we're in the middle of the Michigan trip, and I've already printed out the pictures I want to use for this. I use Photoshop elements to print pictures in different sizes. I've got one 4x6 and two 3x4s to fit in the pocket page, which is two 3x4s on the top and one 4x6 on the bottom. I've also included a couple sizes of my title on the printout, and that way it will give me some flexibility. I wasn't sure exactly what size I wanted the words, so I've got a couple versions there since there's plenty of room on the paper. So I printed those out so that you could see which one would fit. So I've got the 4x6 cut out and ready to go in the pocket. So I'm just going to have the title. Munising Falls is the hike that we went on at Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. And just finding a kind of empty-ish space on the picture, and I'm just going to stick it right down on the picture. And I'll often do that. Might add titles or embellishments directly onto a picture. So I'll pop that in its slot, and one picture is done. So I've got two 3x4 pictures, so I'm going to trim those out right now. I'm not going to need the larger title, so we'll get those trimmed out. I print my photos on some luster paper, so it's not quite glossy. It's got a nice texture to it, not too much glare, and it works really well in my camping journal. And I usually print them on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper and then cut them out. That way I can put whatever sizes I want on one sheet of paper. All right, so I've got two photos here, and one I'm just going to slip in the pocket, nice and simple. One of my husband and I in front of the falls. And then I have one of my husband walking by a rock formation, but I also want to put journaling on this page. So I'm going to create a little flip up element with this is, if you remember from the last video, this is the trail mix collection from Simple Stories, and one of the pieces of paper, 12 by 12 paper, had these 3x4 cards on it. This one says nature, so it seemed like a good one to use for this walk through some really pretty nature. And then I'm cutting out this other card that looks like it'll be a good spot to write some journaling. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer these so one kind of slips inside the pocket and the other one will flip up on the outside of it. And that way I can hide my photo and my journaling inside. So what I want to do is I want to create a little hinge on this photo. So I'm going to use my scoring blade inside my trimmer to score about a 1/4 of an inch on the top of this card. And I'm going to fold that. I'm going to glue it onto, maybe it's a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, I don't know, a little bit of a flap, enough room for some glue. So it depends on how wide your glue is. That might actually be a little bit more than a 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to line that up on there and glue that down onto the other card. So it kind of makes a little flip up element. And I'm going to hide that photo inside it. I'm just going to trim it down a little bit so there's a little bit of a border inside, so you can see a little bit of the pattern paper behind the photo. So just trim out a little bit more on that. And then I can attach this photo inside, and that way you won't see the photo until you flip it up. But because it's going to actually lay outside the page protector, anyone looking at the album will be able to flip that up. It'll say that have the nature card on the outside and the photo will be underneath it. We'll stick that down. And then we'll write some journaling. So I'm going to take a few minutes just to write a little bit about, this was our first hike that we did when we reached Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. Oh, I'm going to add a little washi tape for a little extra security, but also kind of as an embellishment. And I've got some cute little camping stickers here. So I'm going to add a little leaf before I add my journaling and talk about the fact that this was our first trail that we walked when we got to this area. And it was a great way to kind of warm up before doing some longer hikes on some of the trails and seeing more of the sites in Munising and the Pictured Rocks area. There were a lot of options to take some really long hikes that we didn't get to do because of time. So we did some kind of medium-sized walks. You'll see later on we'll get to do layouts about a lighthouse we visited and some of the sand dunes. So those are coming up. But this was our very first one in the area. So as I'm tucking this in, I'm noticing that I didn't quite get the measurements right, and the folding actually makes it pop up a little bit. So I want to add a little bit down to the bottom of that card so it fills in the bottom of the pocket. Now, if I was smart, I probably should have measured that and made sure that when I created the hinge that it was going to make it all the way down. But that's okay, because mistakes are not mistakes. They are just an opportunity to kind of add something else in there. So nothing ever is really a mistake in scrapbooking. You can always add more embellishments. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to add that on the top of the flap or underneath. And I think I'm going to put this on the top because we sure were happy to be hiking around that area. So that solves the problem of kind of covering up when it's closed, but when you open it up, there's still that gap in the bottom of the pocket, and that's kind of bugging me. So I think I'm going to go grab something else to go on the bottom. So I'm looking through my stack of embellishments from the trail mix kit, see what else might be in there that I can add to the bottom. And I found this little kind of label at the bottom. I think that'll be just enough. So I'll add some glue on that. A little bit of adhesive just on the top part so that I can stick it and have it hang down below. And that will give me a chance to write kind of an extra title on there for the journaling. And there we go. And I think another sticker. Oh, there's the hiking boot. That looks really cute. Those puffy stickers are adorable. I actually cannot remember where I got them from, but they're really sweet. And there we go. So now we have that cute little interactive element, that pocket that flips up. And we'll see if there's anything else I want to add. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that washi tape to embellish that card, just to add a little bit more fun. And there we go. So there's our layout. Really quick. A couple of photos, some hidden journaling, and a flip up element. And we're all done. That's it. Go ahead and tuck that because it's in a pocket page. Just put that in the binder. And another layout is done. And we've got the other side to do another time. Thanks, everyone.